Welcome, everybody, to the ALF Boss Podcast. This week, I'm super excited because I have a friend and also a colleague, Miss Tina Lay, who is the marketing director for the Elevated Estates brand. Hey, welcome, Tina. How you doing?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, so I'm just gonna dive right in. I'm gonna hit you with some questions because you're a rock star in your area. You're well known and you're doing amazing things over there. How did you get into this industry and into the assisted living industry?
Old, so it goes way back. So I guess back when I was in a nursing home in Louisiana is how I got my start in marketing is I did a little bit of everything in the nursing home, but one of my favorite jobs was at the front desk answering 10 line phones. We had 450 beds, so it was a huge nursing home. The state would come in all the time. I didn't know anything about the state. They just come in, do their thing. But I always offered them something to drink and would always say hi to them and smile, which they were never allowed to take anything, they said. But I always offered anyway, made them feel like home, right? So, anyway, that's just in my personality. And so one day the state came and they told the administrator, that girl out there at the front desk, she's the one selling this place. And this was a Medicaid building as well, nursing home and everything. So we had a lot of people that didn't have money and stuff. So it was a little bit on the low end side. But anyway, whenever the state, somebody from the state, I don't even know who they were, told her that, then she called me into her office for a little meeting and asked me if I ever thought about marketing. And I was like, no, not really. And she goes, would you be interested? And told me a little about it. And I said, absolutely. It sounds like fun. So I started training under the director of the nursing home. And we would just pop in doctors' offices. And of course, I was in charge of making all the goodie bags and stuff like that. But anyway, that's how I got my start. And it was a lot of fun and just been with it ever since.
So you were in Indiana, and then you transferred to Florida, I would assume.
Yes.
Okay. And did you go back into marketing from there, or?
Did actually. So, there is a little company that's no longer around anymore. They're closed up that had two communities, one in Zephyr Hills and then one in Newport Richey. And I started marketing for those two communities, and then it just escalated from there.
So it sounds like because you've got a great personality, and all the great marketing individuals, they have great personalities, and they always seem to be very happy people. They always seem to be in a good mood, and like you're saying, you being nice to the surveyors, the inspectors, led to they noticed that, right? So that's awesome. I think that's a really good trait that someone in marketing definitely needs, right? What do we call it? A people person, or it's learnable though, right?
I don't know if you can teach people to care.
That's
I
true.
know that. I care
Yeah.
genuinely, and I care about how people are feeling when they come in and how they're feeling when they leave.
Being a
Um,
good human.
yeah, being a good human.
So now you're with Elevated Estates. And talk to us about that. How many buildings is that, and how many beds? And
I've been with them for about 6 months now. I hadn't heard of them beforehand, nor had I been in a couple of the buildings I hadn't even been in when I discovered them. But I came to Elevated Estates about 6 months ago. They have five buildings. Elevated Estates, Newport Richey. It's pretty much more of a memory care, dementia care community.
Mhm.
It has 90 beds. It used to be, I think, the villas at Sunset Bay before it was that. I think it was built in the 80s. But it's a nice building, and the staff are great there. The food's great there. It's right there in the heart of Newport Richey's.
That's one of the buildings that's really been turned around that I've seen. It was for a while under previous companies, they struggled a lot, and I'm just so happy to see it now. It's finally become a very good community. So that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And they started doing some little things, fixing it up. They have some paint that they started in the front and just taking those strides to make things better. And then we have one of my favorites that I don't really go to that much because it is a little bit of a hike and they got a great team over there handling everything. But Elevated Estates Edwinola. So that one is it's 112 years old. It was built back in 1912. It's a landmark in Dade City. Actually, it was a hotel at one time and it was named after Edwin and his wife Nola. So that's why they call it Edwinola. But anyway, I don't remember the exact date when it became a senior living community, but it's historic and it's a landmark and it's really unique in every way. We got like 184 beds, I believe. So
Wow.
then we have the Elevated Estates in Brooksville. So that one's under construction right now. It's also a very old building. It's 135 bed. It's right in Central Florida, which makes it unique. It's got a little bit of a southern charm, and it's right down there, I think, downtown area. You can walk to stores in different places. So it's unique in its setting. We have Forest Oaks. It's 120 beds. That's in Spring Hill. And also, I call it the cabins, but it's Elevated Estates. Spring Hill is the name of it. And I call it the cabins. There's six little unique little cabins, 66, would hold 66 people. But they're
Wow.
really unique. It gives you like you're going camping feel. You're on a private land, wooded area, and trails and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So it's
that's
really
got a
neat.
huge land. I saw that.
Yeah,
And
so they're
so
fun.
how do you keep up with all? That's a lot of beds to fill. Jesus.
Well, it is, but I am actually just focused really on two of the buildings right now. Three, kind of. I'm helping out a little bit at the Brooksville one. They do have a marketer there now, and but I am really focused on the Spring Hill Cabins and then our little Newport Richie one.
So it definitely keeps you busy, right?
Oh yeah,
But but
sundown. I'm busy.
But 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 that area, I was surprised to see how much it's changed there. It's starting to get very populated, so there's plenty of seniors. It wasn't always developed like it is now. I went up in that area and it's, wow, where am I? It's so many new things have been built, and it's just amazing. So there's definitely a need for memory care. There's definitely need for for all of those buildings. So let's say somebody wanted to get started in marketing. What are some tips maybe that you would somebody just starting out maybe?
Their why. Why do they want to do this? There's always that why. Why do you want to do marketing for senior living? What is your why? You love seniors. And then finding that purpose in that, I feel for me, it's purposeful. Like when I help a family and they're crying on my shoulder and they're relieved that their loved one has somewhere to go and they're just thanking me when actually I'm thanking them for choosing us. But just that's such a reward.
And a lot of people don't understand that part, like you just mentioned, because I ran a facility for many years. I still have it, and I do the marketing, I did the admissions, it was a family facility, and sitting there having those talks with us because for them it's a big deal to move their loved ones into the facility, and like you said, they're crying sometimes, and it's very difficult, and you have to explain to them. You're almost like a social worker in a way, and see, a lot of people think marketing, they're thinking, okay, we're going to networking events, or we're giving out things and we're visiting people. That's part of it, yes. But closing those deals sometimes takes a special person. You have to actually care.
Yeah, and just being, solution minded. They have a problem, we have a solution that's going to help. And, for me, it's just, helping them to understand and listening to understand, you know.
That's the biggest thing, listening, being a good listener. And so it's not just, I just want to throw that out because some people think marketing, they don't, and I'm talking because I have all types of individuals that listen. They're opening up their smaller facilities and they think by just building the facility that, hey, they open up and then 3 months later they have no residents. And I'm like, you need to be marketing. You need to get out there. People need to know you. You need to hang out where people can help you out. So I always push it that yes, and people misunderstand me when I say that marketing is like the number one thing of the facility. Yes, care, yes, it's important. I understand that the regulations and all that, but if you don't have any residents, you don't have a facility, right? So you either need to hire somebody that's really good at it, or you have to put your big boy and big girl pants on and then get out there and start doing it, right?
And I liked what you posted something about finding what works and just honing in on doing what works, figuring out what works and just identify those things that are working and just keep doing it. I like that little post that you had. I can't remember it from detail, but that was
Yeah,
this
but
morning. Yeah.
yeah, you try stuff when you're starting out, and something starts working. Instead of keep being all over the place, I zone in on that. Make that as good as it can, and before you start being all over the place, because it's easy in this industry. It's easy to chase your tail, right? You can be distracted with this. You got to realize what's really important right now and focus on the real important things.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Any other magic information you might want to share with us as far as
I mean, just owning your neighborhood, just when you're talking about marketing, just owning your neighborhood. For me, right now, I'm focused on a couple communities, but if I just had one single community and I was just really focused, because you got to really have that focus, I feel, and have that management and um, focusing on the activities that's going to result in move-ins is the most important because we can get interrupted and we can have so many other things that we feel like we need to do. But I really think that it's in the follow-up as well, in keeping up with the people that did reach out that maybe not be ready right now.
Mhm.
And following up on those calls, owning your neighborhood, going into those, skilled nursing facilities and introducing yourself and being consistent is the key, I really feel. And also letting them know I'm not just here to take from you, I'm here to give back. Building that partnership, building the partnership with those people and letting them know that you're there to partner and to help them too.
Correct. It's if you get a referral, it's like you got to follow up with a thank you, or it's just don't take them for granted because they have other facilities they can use. And that's another thing. A lot of people sign contracts with placement agencies, things like that, and they just expect that, okay, I signed the thing and I agree to pay you. Where's the residents? It doesn't really work. They have other facilities that they also have contracts with, and if you guys aren't on some kind of level that they you like, either your friends or whatever, you have a good relationship that you because you put in the work and you nourish that relationship, they're not going to just send you residents because you have that contract. It's like you got
Right.
it's a good balance. You have to find the right balance as a marketer that not to be annoying. Also, you don't want to be I need residents, I need residents. So you're calling them every week. It can't be that way. It's got to be give, then they'll once in a while they send. So that's the way I've always operated. That make sure you follow up. Somebody sends you a referral, thank them, etc. Keep that relationship going. I always like to say at least touch people at least 5 times a month. It's a text, call, in person, whatever the case may be, just to keep the thing going there.
I agree. And just you want to be their first thought when they get that referral, if it's in your area, if that customer is needing something in that area. You in that person's mind, you want to be their first thought. And sometimes I am because I answer my phone. They know they can call me at night. They know they can call me early in the morning, and I'm gonna answer that phone. And being
You
that
got
first thought.
you nailed it. I always found that worked very well. Speed. They know that they call a number, you're gonna pick up personally. And if they need something like now or whatever, it's gonna be taken care of. If they need somebody to go get evaluated, it's gonna get done. It's gonna boom, make their life easier and they're happy. If they got to call a facility and they call the receptionist and they're not sure who to route the call to, and they're not gonna refer to those type of places. So awesome. A lot of good little tidbits there. That's awesome. Awesome. And listen, since you've took over there, elevated, it's been a great job. I'm very proud of you, and uh,
You.
thank you so much. And anything you want to say in closing?
Just that I am really grateful to get to be on your little podcast. So that was fun. And thanks for having Elevated Estates. I love Elevated Estates. I think it's a great company, great leaders there. And I am just grateful for the people that do give us a chance and come by and take a look around, even though they're older buildings. They have a rich history and charm that you just
Yeah,
can't get at
and
some places.
a lot of good care. Absolutely.
That too.
Tina, you've been awesome, and I know you got a busy day ahead of you, so I'm gonna let you go, and we'll be in touch. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Take care.